All right, guys, so this is interesting. Fox Business Network, we have Stuart Varney's show here, and Stuart Varney has on a guest, and they're going to talk about a poll that has AOC leading J.D. Vance for a potential 2028 matchup. And what they say here is perhaps shocking. Take a listen.
See winning the presidency. Can you?
Yes.
What?
I would not bet on it, but I
That's
think it's absolutely possible. So let's just talk about that.
Make your case.
I think if she ran for president, she would have at least a decent fighter's chance to win the nomination. I don't think she'd be the front runner. I'm not sure she'd win it, but I think that there's a real possibility that she could. Then, ultimately, it's two choices in this country for president, right? It's generally down to a binary choice for most voters. And I'm not sure there's such a thing as unelectable anymore in America. In a normal election cycle, I don't think she could win. But under a circumstance where the public is fed up with the Republicans or the incumbents, and she's representing major change, I absolutely could see her winning. I know that my friends, I told this to a friend the other day, and his jaw dropped. He's like, are you kidding? I'm not kidding. Again, I wouldn't bet on it, but I would not count it out, and I would not underestimate her either.
Do you think this country has gone that far left that we could put AOC in the Oval Office?
No, but I think that we are just swinging wildly back and forth. I think a lot of people on the left, think about this, they would have said a few years ago, there's no way Donald Trump could win again. They thought the same thing the first time.
True.
If there's no way he could win again. And then he did pretty handily. I think that absent leadership that can bring people together and satisfy people, and I think today's report on inflation is very good, right, for Trump and the Republicans in the near term. But if you just close your eyes and envision in 2028 an economy that people are frustrated with, and young people casting about for something new and different, and those demographics that shifted a little bit to Trump going back, there's a path to victory for anyone with a D next to their name. And I think that's true on the other side as well, depending on the political circumstances.
So a Fox News host saying that they think AOC could become president. Now, here's the question. Why? Why is a Fox News host saying that? That's my question for you guys. Why? Why do you think a Fox News host is saying that? I'll tell you the reason. Because they're doing their version of the Pied Piper strategy. You know what that is? The Pied Piper strategy back in 2015 was Hillary Clinton and her staffers thought, oh, who's the candidate on the right we want to go up against? Donald Trump. And they said that because they're like, we'll definitely beat him. He's a joke. He's a silly person. There's no way he could win a general election. And so they tried to make a big deal of, oh, we are really scared of Donald Trump. He's the candidate that we fear. And definitely don't pick him. We would be so owned if you picked him, Republicans. And that was like their little tap dance that they did. But guess what? They miscalculated. Because it actually turned out Hillary probably would have beaten Jeb Bush. Hillary probably would have beaten Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz. But she didn't beat Trump. And so be careful what you wish for. It's a classic case of be careful what you wish for. And now I think the Republicans are doing that same thing. I don't think this guy actually thinks AOC could be president. I actually don't think he thinks that. I think he's saying that because he wants to do the Pied Piper strategy in the other direction, because he wants J.D. Vance to go up against AOC. He'd rather have J.D. Vance go up against AOC than up against some, some no-name Democratic governor. This guy feels like some rando Democratic governor would have a better chance than AOC, but he's lying and pretending, oh yeah, we're scared of her, hoping that she'll be the nominee. That's what's happening here. But yet again, I do think they're miscalculating, because I actually think she would have a decent chance. Now, having said that, I have to say, man, and I'm curious what you guys think of this, she surprised me in kind of a negative way in this second Trump term. Because I don't know where she's at, y'all. I don't know where she's at. Where is she? You know, I said this a lot while talking about Kamala. Like, okay, Kamala, she clearly wants to run again. I said about Kamala, go get arrested by ICE. Go do something. Instead of going on your shitty fucking book tour and giving interviews where all you do is talk about yourself and your feelings. Nobody cares about you or your feelings. Fascism is taking over the country. Fucking act like it. Go to an anti-ICE protest. Go get arrested. Go fucking protest the illegal and offensive war in Venezuela where they're trying to overthrow a government and steal the oil. And Trump is on record as saying we're going to take the oil. Go do that. So if I'm mad at Kamala for not doing that, if she wants to run again, she just disappeared after she lost, right? Well, AOC is in Congress and I don't hear shit from her. I don't hear shit. Like, you know, I thought she'd be one of the loudest voices. She'd be one of the leaders. She'd be one of the people screaming about Trump illegally invading the USA with the U.S. military, screaming about the concentration camps and CCOT and the torture and the rape that happened down there, right? Screaming about the demolition of the East Wing of the White House and Trump sending $40 billion to Argentina while cutting food stamps and kicking 18 million people off Medicaid. I thought she'd be the first one. Let me get arrested by ICE. I want to get arrested by ICE. Right? And I don't know, I haven't seen her, particularly on The warmongering on the Iran warmongering, where he illegally bombed Iran, bombed Somalia, bombed Yemen, threatening Panama and Greenland, doing a regime change war right now in Venezuela. You got all that? Like, that's the shit. We need you the most on that shit, and I haven't seen her fucking say anything. In fact, I showed you guys the other day, there was a chart of podcast appearances by potential 2028 Democratic contenders. She was literally dead last. Kamala Harris has done more podcasts than she has. So I don't know what's going on here. Look, it's possible she just doesn't want to run for president, which it might then somehow make sense that she's not in front of the cameras as much. Although still, as a member of Congress, you should be leading the charge against fascism because you are one of our leaders, whether you want to be or not. But like, I don't know, maybe she's not going to run. Maybe she is, but she's just sort of letting me down. She's being very cautious. That's the thing that leads me now to feel like, I don't know if she's the one, is how cautious she's being. Like, we need fucking balls to the wall crusaders who will never shut the fuck up and are going for the jugular on the right 24/7. That's what we need. Instead, we're getting we got nothing from AOC. It's fucking radio silence. And so what I would say is the person who's surprised me the most and really emerged as an incredible leader is Ro Khanna. It's Ro Khanna, right? He's not the most charismatic. He's not the best candidate on paper, right? But in terms of leading the way, he's real. I mean, it's him and Thomas Massie that harped away on the Epstein files and really opened up this massive fissure on the right, started the right-wing civil war. He's hitting the nerve every day. He's going out there. He's hitting a nerve. He's hitting a nerve. I've seen him on 1,000 shows just within this past week, telling everybody what's happening with the Epstein files, talking about impeaching or holding in contempt Pam Bondi, talking about, legal repercussions. I mean, he is really fucking legal. He's also, turned on the TV the other day. He's talking about war with Venezuela and how it's illegal and how it's unacceptable. He's the one who's been leading the way. So I don't know, AOC, if you want to run, you better get in front of these cameras. You better start doing more podcasts. You better start screaming about the illegal war in Venezuela. You better start talking about the concentration camps. You better start talking about the destruction of our economy. I haven't seen you. I haven't fucking seen you. And so, anyway, I think they're trying to Pied Piper this bitch. I think they feel like, oh, yeah, we're scared of her, but they're not. But maybe they should be more so than they are, right? But still, at this point, I think she'd be a good candidate. But I think Ro Khanna right now would be a better one. I do. I just think he's shown the leadership. I've always told you guys, you don't get to pick your leaders. That's not how it works. You don't get to pick your leaders. Leaders just emerge, right? Like, you could say, in theory, I want this one to be the leader, but if that person doesn't show up, they're not the leader, right? So who's emerging? Ro Khanna's emerging. So we'll see. But look, I would be shocked if we don't get a good-ass candidate in 2028. The one I am afraid of, though, is Newsom. Because Newsom, half the time, shows the right instincts to fight, but the other half the time, he does that let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya with MAGA bullshit, which I fucking hate, right? And then the other thing is he's more beholden to the donor class and not to the constituency. And that's a problem, is I don't want some standard corporate bullshit. I want a real lefty fighter. And so he can fake the funk and make it seem like he's the biggest fighter, even though he's not. And he's also a smooth debater and shit like that. So I fear Newsom, but I think Ro Khanna he's really the one that's shown the leadership lately. So anyway, there you have it. But people are now having the conversation. Is it going to be AOC 2028? Is it going to be some other lefty? Well, all I know is we need a fighter and we need a real committed lefty to really, really change the direction of the country. I no longer want to head in the direction of hell. I'd like to course correct, please. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.